you recently wrote a book called Hunger Makes Me a Modern Girl. And I think what it does that's different is that it puts the reader in that sort of place in limbo where you realize how much responsibility an artist has to take on, because you never imagine what would happen if you lost your private life, or if your narrative became not just your own, or became out of your control. And you know, you write this thing that really drove that home for me about the first Spin article when you had the first major feature, and you talk about, you know, being very excited. You guys were going to be in Spin, and it was a big feature, and there was a photo shoot, and all those things. But then the writer went off and did sort of his own investigative journalism and ended up outing you and Corin in a relationship before your parents had known and before her parents had known. And it was almost like, you know, the fish that swims down river and sees the food and doesn't know there's a hook in it, right? It's just like, this is awesome. And I felt like maybe right there, that's that moment, maybe even more than the CMJ and seeing Thurston Moore in the audience, of, oh, this thing's not just mine anymore, or it's a loss of innocence.
I think it did create it like inserted into this world something poisonous, you know, something that could be pernicious and harmful, and just awareness of like what we give up. But yeah, I think it instilled in me kind of a awareness of being like too exposed, and also just realizing that there is a difference between what I valued in terms of public and private, and I think, yeah, I kind of shifted more into like, this is what I'm going to protect, you know, these things that are private and that I want to hold dear. They never need to see. They never need to sort of exist for someone else. I don't need to perform, you know, a relationship for the world to see, like, you know, because I'm performing everything else. So it definitely instilled in me a certain, just a sense of like skepticism, and also like, well, that's the reality and that's fine, but I don't necessarily want that. I don't need everything to exist on a stage.